everybody, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Ready to Die Fighting. I'm Chris.
I'm Nate.
And today we are continuing our series on self-defense. If you have not been watching or keeping up with this series of videos, definitely check out this playlist over here. We've covered how to fight from your back if you get knocked down. We've covered footwork. We talked about how learning self-defense moves don't typically work. And today, we're going to build all on that and use our footwork to learn how to handle punches and kicks. All right, Nate's gonna help me out here. He's got his boxing gloves on, and he has been dying to beat me up. I don't know why. I'm such a good, nice, sweet mama to this cute little boy. I don't know why he won't beat me up so bad. But for some reason, you've got a bad guy who wants to beat you up, and he's throwing punches at you. Oh. He might even be throwing sucker punches at you. You've got about 5 options. The first is to get hit. I mean, that kind of sounds like a joke or silly or dumb choice, but honestly, it's sometimes a really good choice. And I'm thinking specifically about kicks to the legs. To the legs, not the face. You do not want to just take a kick to the face. A kick to the leg, though, a kick to the knee, you can brace for it and absorb that impact and not get hurt. And that's going to conserve some energy and be better than trying to dodge it, and that's going to be too tricky. Or even blocking it, like you're going to use your arm to block a... No. Just take the hit. So what you want to do, here's my beautiful knees.
No one wants to see that.
Everyone wants to see this. Look at these legs.
I got potato knees. People are probably not familiar, but I have potato knees, just so you know. She got the right knees. So we've got knees here, and there's a common belief that if you hit somebody in the knee, then that's like, you know, their knee is just gonna buckle onto them and snap off, and they'll be crippled and the fight is over. And that might happen, but it might not. Watch an MMA fight. Go to a kickboxing gym. Knees get kicked a lot, and that's not necessarily a fight ender. Knees and legs get kicked a lot. Doesn't end the fight, necessarily. It could. You can't bank on anything. So, excuse me. We just had a delicious dinner. So what you want to do is when you see or feel a knee kick coming, come on and give me some kicks. And we're not wearing shin guards, so don't kick real hard is what you want to do. So chances are they're going to try to kick the front leg. If you're standing in some kind of front stance, they're going to try to kick the front leg. And what you can do is kick slow. Basically kind of lean into it. So right here, it'll make you tired. This leg will get tired if it gets kicked a lot, but chances are you're not going to break it. Getting kicked right dead front in the knee would suck, but it may or may not end the fight. But if you can keep it bent and just kind of do a quick little lean towards it, go ahead. Kick gently. We're not wearing shin guards or anything. Just that's all you have to do. You can take a lot of, you don't have to kick in slow motion, but just don't kick real hard because it'll hurt your leg. Not so much mine. And that's all you need to do. Just kind of lean into it and make sure it's not hitting you on a straight leg like this. You don't want to be like that and try to take, especially directly into the knee. Your other option with your legs is basically blocking. So lift that leg up and let them get you in the shin, and that's going to hurt their shin. It'll hurt your shin too. It will. Be prepared. That's probably going to hurt. But the key is you want this to be kind of loose. You don't want to have a rock solid, and you certainly don't want to like kick at their leg while they're kicking at you. you want to keep it loose so it's like a spring, so that when he kicks me, there's some give back there. And so I'm absorbing that blow and not jacking up my shins. So go ahead and kick me a couple times. And that's all. That's very effective. It's very quick. You know, your front leg, you just lift it up. If they're kicking low enough, you may avoid that kick altogether. If they're kicking a little bit higher, you know, that's a good way to block the kick. I mean, if you bring your knee up high enough, that can protect your stomach to a certain extent. You know, you bring that elbow down, you got a nice little wall there. But you're on one foot. That means your balance is going to be compromised. So you have to think about all these things. Is this somebody who's throwing a kick to try to throw you off balance and then take you to the ground? Going on one foot might not be the best idea. Is your balance really good? I typically also lean into it so that once they're kicking me, especially if it's a hard kicker, I lean into it a little bit, and so that I'm coming forward and there's less chance of them being able to just knock me back with that kick because I'm on one foot. And it also brings me closer so I can do whatever I want to them, whether it's a punch or a knee or elbows. Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
So the first is take the hit. The next is to block the hit. So you're going to punch me, and yeah, you could do something like that to block it. And so he's hitting my arm instead of my, or you can even do like the karate style, do like that punch like that again. Like, yeah! You know, something like that. That's blocking, and you can totally do that. You're meeting the force with your own force. And hitting like, you know, with that. So if you got your forearm, you've got the inside part of your forearm, and that is, I want to say it's soft, but it's a smaller bone on this side, and you've got more muscle on this side. Whereas this side is much harder surface and is right in line with your elbow. And
It's
so
kind of like an X, like you guys are making an X, kind of.
yeah, exactly. You're making an X where he's, go ahead and like swing at me. And so Nate is 100% right. We're making an X here. So I'm intersecting right here with this tough outer part of my arm. And boom, and I want to meet that force. I don't want to back away from it. I want to go right into it and boom. And the further you can get into it, let's see. So you come to the side here. So if you go throw the punch really slow. And so, yeah, like that big haymaker like that. So right here, Nate has all of his power. I'm at the very end of it, and all the power that he reached back here to punch me, boom, I'm catching all of it. And that is going to hurt. So if I try to block it right here, that's a lot of force coming at me right here. And that's going to be, that's going to hurt my arm. That's going to be hard for me to stop it. I may end up hitting my own self if he's strong enough and wound up enough. But go ahead, do it slow again. If I catch him right here, he's, back up a little bit. He's off balance now. You can
like push me by now.
Yeah, exactly. With your arm way back here, you've got no strength. You've got no momentum. I could take, Dwayne Johnson with his arm back here, and I can push him back and control that arm. Once he gets to this point, I'm not stopping, you're not stopping that. That's going to be way too much force. But when it's back here behind the shoulder, that's where you want to try to block it in particular. So you move toward it, you intersect it with an X on this hard outside part of your arm,
You don't want
in line with the pinky. I think of this as kind of just like the blade, and move toward it, and boom. And you're going to throw his arm back. You're going to potentially hurt him, and you're going to be nice and close to do your own counter strike. You can also parry. So parry is where you kind of, you're basically kind of padding and I'll probably combine this with redirecting. Let's say parry / redirecting. And so in this case, so you throw a punch slowly. Instead of trying to block it, I'm just kind of slapping it and moving it out of my way. You don't have to move it a ton, just enough so it doesn't hit me. So, I mean, the difference between right here hitting me and right here not hitting me is just a couple inches. However much space this is. Let's see, about that far. So you only have to move it about that far so it's not hitting you. So go ahead. You should kind of do that type of thing. Or you can just go ahead and throw a couple of nice slow punches. Throw it down, whatever. Just kind of doing this. Just whatever.
And you got all of this.
Exactly. And that's going to
She
throw
has
him
all
off balance.
of this to punch and stuff like that.
Especially right down there. Countering. So yeah, so we can just kind of parry these punches. And just kind of catching them and knocking them just ever so slightly out of my way so that they're not directly hitting
And
me.
you got chances to like punch me on this time.
Yeah, and that does open up areas where you
spaces.
can counter strike. And that leads me to the next one is you can counter attack before they even get a chance to attack you. So when you are fighting someone, you may be tempted to watch their hands
But
because
your
that's
chest-
what's yes, but because that's like, oh, this is a threat, I'm going to watch their hands. But if you watch the chest, like right here, you watch this lady right here, that's going to give you all the clues you need as to what this kid or this adult or whoever it is who's attacking you, what they want to do. You watch their chest and you watch their feet. So let's just see, for example, I'm going to stand here like this, and you can tell when I'm about to punch. When I was about to punch, this foot took a little step. It took a little step forward. It was small, but it did it. Boom. If I'm going to jab. Now, you can't see what my arms are doing, but you can tell by my feet what I'm doing. Let's say I'm moving around and stuff. You can still tell. Like if you were watching there, I kind of did I'm exaggerating, but I kind of leaned back a little bit before I lunged forward. That's just the way our body moves and the way our body works. So you want to watch the chest and you want to watch the legs. You can, I don't want to say ignore the hands, but the hands are going to follow the rest of your body. When I'm deciding, all right, punch, all of my body responds first, then the hands do. So that's what you want to watch. And so when Nate, and especially if you've been, now this is more of a sparring situation. A lot of times you're sparring, you kind of just start out and you kind of just throw little jabs at each other. And what you're basically doing is trying to figure out how this person moves and how they react, especially in the beginning. If it's somebody you spar with all the time, you probably don't have to spend so much time on that. You already know. But you may not have that opportunity in a self-defense scenario. But watching the chest and watching the feet are going to give you some big clues, even if you're not familiar with this particular person and their style of fighting. So if I'm fighting Nate and he's throwing a couple punches and I've been able to dodge him or block him, whatever, but I'm looking at him, I'm like, okay, I notice whenever Nate's about to punch, he kind of does a little wind up like that first. I'm not saying that you do that, but let's just say, for example, that's what he does. Or maybe I notice that his hips are about to shift. And so he's about to punch. Oh, wait, sorry. I was like, so he's about to punch. Well, boom, I'm going to beat him to it. He starts to bring that fist back. Boom, I'm going to do a quick jab first. I'm going to beat him to it. You got to be quick. You got to be trained to do that. Typically, somebody with no skill isn't going to be able to do that. But again, when you're fighting somebody with no skill, a lot of times they do these big wind-ups, these big wild haymaker punches. You see that arm coming back, you attack right now. Don't wait until it's right here. Don't wait until they've after he hit you. Wind him back, punch, ooh. Knock him out right there. Right there. And you come in smooth and quick and straight. Not this big winding thing.
Not like this.
Yeah, so he's doing a big wind-up. I'm going to go... and I'm going to tackle him, or I'm going to punch him, or I'm going to kick him. I'm going to do something, whatever the quickest thing I can do while he's still whining. Attack fast, attack hard, and don't stop attacking until he's dead. That's what you do. And so that's, there was 5. So there was take the hit, block the hit, parry / redirect the hit, counter the hit, And the last one, which is probably your best option and the one that we like the most, is don't be there. Avoid the hit. So if he's punching me, the best defense is to not be there. Move. Move your head. Move your body. Don't be wherever he's punching. And then you can counter, of course. So you have a few different options here. The first is you can slip your punches. This is for, evading punches. I already kind of discussed blocking and parrying and all that. So we're just going to do some drills on slipping and dodging punches. And so when you slip, you are, imagine, right, go ahead and punch me. Okay, all right, that hand. All right, so go ahead and punch, and you, you switched hands. Punch, which hand are you going to use? That one. All right, so you want to go to the outside, typically. So if he's punching with this hand, here, come closer so you're in the frame. I want to go to the outside of his body, so this way. The reason being is if I'm over here, try to punch me. No, I mean, you're like that. Try to punch me like that.
I can't.
You can't, right? Can you punch me with the other hand very good? Not much power. It's kind of awkward and weird, right?
Oh.
But, here, put your hand back there. But what's exposed to me? Not lots of nice little organs there that I can, come back over here, that I can hit. Can try to block me from punching you here. Not very easy to do, is it? And we're talking like a split second. You're not going to just stand here like this. So go ahead and punch with that one again. If I go like that and punch, do it again. Well, same side. All right. And I can hit him there. So I have options there. If I come to the inside, go ahead and punch, and I go this way, can you punch me in the face? Oh, Go, here, do it again. I go that way. Can I punch you? Try to block it. Pretty easy for him to block my attacks. Block it, block it, block it, block it. Punch me back. How often do people do 1-2? That's always 1-2. If you don't know anything else from boxing, you know 1-2, right? So if you're punching and I slip inward, I'm probably moving right into that 2. Do a 1-2, nice and slow. Ugh. Do a 1-2, nice and slow. I'm dodging both of them. So you want to try to move to the outside. So whatever the opposite hand, opposite direction of the hand, move towards their elbow. So punch that way, boom. Punch that one, boom. And you're just turning your shoulders. You don't have to do this far lean over type of thing. I try to lean in more because then I can counter. So I'm leaning in and I'm trying to go for like a rib shot, a kidney shot, a liver shot, whatever. And so I'm leaning into it and so I can punch again. But you're just kind of tilting your shoulders towards the outside. And so you go that way, or you can go that way. And you don't need to move that much. You really don't. Just enough to get your head clear of a projectile this big. So, what? Oh, you're switching gloves. All right. So a great way to practice this is to have a partner. If you do not have a partner, you have other options. See this thing? No. This is basically something that will probably poke my eye out. There used to be a tennis ball attached here, but it came off. So I should probably wrap it. It occurred to me I could just make some kind of like monkey ball with cordage or rubber band ball or something like that, whatever. But you can get something as simple as this. You can tie a penny or just anything, just as long as there's enough weight that it can swing back and forth. And practice doing that. You don't even have to have your hands up. Just kind of, just getting that movement down. And it's basically the same motion you're using when you throw a punch. which I haven't done a video on punches yet, really, but I will. And if you're watching this after I've done it, I will link it over there. And now if it grazes the side of your head, that's not a big deal. So our skulls are pretty strong, especially up here. Like these bones here, this is strong. If you're gonna take a punch, take it to the forehead, like right to that. Ugh. You might get a headache, but you're probably not gonna get brain damage. It's not gonna knock you out.
I do it sometimes.
It's not gonna break, not from a punch. I mean, if they got brass knuckles or something, maybe. But just like a normal sized person who probably hasn't been training in some sort of ancient Chinese art where he's been punching like balls of lead or whatever and turning his fist into these rock hard things. Like, just like your average person punch you, you can just dip your head, worst case scenario, and take that punch. Now, if you do have a partner, which is the preferable way to go with this, you just communicate to them what you want them to do. Especially if you're beginning. You'll get to a range where you can't get hit, so go ahead and try to punch me. Alright, so that's close enough, I think. So he's far enough where he's not gonna really hit me. So I don't have to worry about it. You know, you're not trying to... You don't want to be scared, because when you get scared of the hits, that's when it's like, you don't want that. So you're not trying to punish yourself. You don't want this stuff to hurt. So get to a nice comfortable range. You can do that. Like, okay. So you're going to do just 1, 2, stop. 1, 2, stop. 1, 2, stop. And that's it. And so while he's doing that, I'm going to do slip, slip, stop. Slip, slip, stop. Makes sense? So go ahead. That is not a 1, 2. 1, 2, start with the front one.
Oh.
All right. It's fine. 1, 2. Stop. 1, 2. So what Nate is doing here is he's punching, and people will often do this. You're punching over here, aren't you? You'll never hit me. Do 1, 2. You were doing that. People will always do that. It's in our nature to not want to just punch our friends in the face. Stop them and say, hey, hit me. Punch towards my face. So you punch in the center where my face is right now. Don't punch over here. Don't punch over there. Punch right in the center where my face is right now. 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, there we go. 1, 2. And you're trying to get over this fear of getting punched in the face. And you're trying to also move. Okay, so I'm trying to talk at the same time. You're building the muscle memory. You're learning to not be so afraid, like, oh, a punch is coming at me, I'm gonna die. I'm talking. And develop this as a skill. This is another attribute. It's not a move. This is a particular skill that you have to develop, and then you have to learn how to apply it. So just build this. I don't know if you know, but my feet, if I'm slipping, my feet move like this. So this leg pivots. Now this leg is pivoting. You can even take a little step with it if you want, especially with this one, to really get in there and whack, get that liver. The next one is the bob and weave, and so it's not a duck. You're actually squatting down. You're changing your levels. Knees are bending, so you're coming down. And then back up. Think of a U. I'm making a U with my head. So for training purposes, I like to come down nice and low because it's like doing squats and building the leg muscles. Realistically, you don't have to come down that far when in a real fight. You know, you can just boom. Again, just getting out of the way. Just enough so that it comes above him. So go ahead and throw some punches at me. And the way this one works is, this works better more with like a hook or a swinging type of punch. But you know, just get out of the way, basically. Sorry, go ahead. And so I'm doing, go ahead. There we go. And again, I'm coming to the outside. I don't want to, which one you're going to punch with that one?
Yeah.
All right, so I don't want to try to, I don't even know how to do that actually. You try it again with that one. Yeah, it doesn't really work. So here, you're coming, it's this way, and so I see it coming, come nice and slow, and I'm making a U shape to come under it, and now I'm over here on the outside. His ribs and whatever organs are on that side are there. Come back close. All right, so you're like that. So yeah, he's got this here. I can punch all this. I can attack all this easily. Stay there. I can punch him here. He can't dodge it. He can't block it fast enough from this position. The only thing he can do, he could do that, but he's not going to be able to do that fast enough. And go ahead, do that. Here, get back in that. Is it really hard to stand like that? All right, so put your hand there and try. Yeah, that's not protecting him at all. And realistically, he's not. Who punches like? No one's gonna do. No one's gonna do that. Yeah, and if they do, yeah, that's not gonna save them at all. So you're making a U. Here, boom, boom, boom. All right, I think that's all I have for defending and evading striking attacks. The next, stop it. All right, I think that's all I have for defending and evading striking attacks. This is all stuff that you absolutely have to practice. You have to. That's the only way to get it down, get these movements down, is to train them. I highly, highly recommend that you do shadow boxing and shadow grappling, especially working the footwork, working some footwork, and now on top of that footwork, incorporate head movement into it. So even if you're just doing this, even if you're moving to a rhythm, hitting a moving target is harder than moving a stationary target. You try to punch me when I'm standing like this, you can do it. Punch me when I'm doing this is a lot harder, especially if you're worried about me punching you back. You know, if just sticking to this type of rhythm even is going to help you. So start doing the footwork, incorporate these movements in. You know, ducking, weaving, some parries. All the stuff, you have to work on it. Some blocks.
You guys know what's hard and you guys know what's soft. You guys want to use the soft part, hard parts.
Get on camera when you talk.
You guys want to use the hard part, not the soft part. That's how you're going to get hurt.
Yep.
So when you get done with this video, look what's hard, what's soft, and you know what parts you're going to use.
Exactly.
Or even just run away if you're standing up.
Run away is I should have said number 6. Run away.
Run
away.
If you're standing up, you can give them a punch and they run away.
Exactly.
Or just do something. Like, oh.